Thank you, Jerry. Well, hello again. I'm so glad I've had an opportunity now to, I think, to meet all of our students through the matriculation signing this morning, and I'm glad to be able to spend this few moments with you. I want to start by giving you a word of reassurance. We had the largest applicant pool in the college's history by a large margin for the class that will enter this fall, and that's true for our freshmen who wanted to join us, as well as for the transfers who wanted to join us. These classes of applicants were very, very large, and what that should mean to you right now is that we offered you admission because it was in our judgment, as best as we could measure, that you truly deserve to be here. In a world crowded with diversion and distraction, you have proven to us that you are prepared and willing to choose success. So what I want to do is I want to take a few moments together in the time that I have with you to talk about that success. Now, it may seem funny to you, but I actually want to begin this exploration of success by thinking about Richard Scarry. Lowly worm? Right? It would have been Richard Scarry's 92nd birthday this week. And so I want to talk with you about the cartoon drama Busy Town. Who remembers Busy Town? Okay, good, good. Characters in Busy Town? Your favorite character? Bear. Who? The bear? The teacher? Honey Bear? Lowly Worm? Right? Lowly Worm? Sometimes hung out at school, sometimes ran a street sweeper, sometimes worked in the operating room. Fat Cat was a grocer and sometimes ran a travel agency. Father Pig was a house painter. Sergeant Murphy, you remember Sergeant Murphy? Sergeant Murphy was so passionate about his job as a patrolman that what did he do? He wore his helmet to bed every night. And then there's Smokey and Sparky and Snozzle, the trio of pig firefighters who would do things like donning saucepans and colanders and use a trombone for a siren. Do you remember these characters? You might have read about them, or maybe you watched them on television. And it may seem odd to you that I'm evoking something from your early childhood when I want to talk about your success, but that's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to think about the fact that Busy Town was an object lesson. I want to reassure you that because you were watching and reading about Busy Town, or maybe you were watching your parents connect with their community as a volunteer firefighter, or on the PTA, or as part of a fraternal organization in town, Rotary or Kiwanis, you have been preparing since your childhood to come to a full appreciation of what it means to participate, to have a role and to actually exercise that role. It's an object lesson, Busy Town, in the importance of community and in the idea of interdependence. The fact that if you're going to have a healthy community, everybody, whether one day you're a student and the next day you're a street sweeper and the next day you work in an operating room, there's a role that each of us has if we're going to have a successful, healthy community. That's what we want here. That's what we want this community to be at Hartwick. And as I noted to you this morning, you're really stepping into the river of time that is Hartwick. And when you do that, you will change the course of that river. There are lots of people here who have important roles in this community building. Your faculty, of course, are among the best prepared instructors, teachers, mentors that you'll find in the world. But you have a role here, and so do I. And those two roles, as I promised this morning, are the two that I want to talk with you about. I want to talk about my role first, and then we'll move to yours. As the president, it is my role to take care of the college, and it is my job to take care of you. And I'm going to do that, but not like your parents do. So how do I do it? As the president, it's my job to look into the future of the college and to imagine it in 25 or 50 or 100 years. It's my job to make decisions that strengthen the college and its reputation. It's my job to make sure that the real and perceived value of the college actually appreciates during the time that you're here. That's my job in the long run. During your time at Hartwick, taking care of you means that it's my job to make sure that the instruction you receive is of the high quality that we expect it to be, and that your faculty are among the best prepared faculty in the country. It's my job to make sure that you're challenged. It's my job to make sure that you are well prepared and that you have professionals who are here to help you, to be sure that you are. It's my job to make sure that you have opportunity to do research, to study abroad, to engage in the larger collective community, whether that's the larger community outside of this auditorium, or it's the larger community in Oneonta, or it's the larger community in downstate, or if you're going to go halfway around the world. And many of you will. It's my job to make sure you have those opportunities because it's very important that you take the theory that you learn and put it into practice. It's my job to assure that you have and are prepared for your career success. I am not the least bit worried about whether you'll get your first job. The kind of education that you're going to get at Hartwick will prepare you, and it should prepare you by giving you the building blocks of experience and reason to prepare you for a lifetime of professional success, the challenges with which you will not be able to imagine. And you can ask your parents. I know you probably don't talk to your parents a whole lot about their work lives, but ask them on the drive home today, what happened to you in your work that you did not imagine? You may not be able to get them to stop because it is a continued story of new challenges that confront us every day, and you should be prepared based on the education that you get here. And it's also my job to get my own sense of your experience. We have some very talented people that I work with here, fortunately. They're wonderful people. But I need my own sense of whether or not we're keeping our promise to you. So I'm going to come to the Commons where you will dine a couple of times a week, and I may ask if I can join you for lunch. I hope that you'll welcome me. I will be at your performances. I will be at your competitions. I will be at your plays. I will be at your presentations. I will be there to assure myself that we're doing what we promised to do. It's also my job to hold you accountable. It is not my job to let you off the hook. And finally, it's my very important role to be here when you need me, and I promise that I will be. Okay, that's a pretty big job description. Now, I left all those great things about raising money off the list. But now let's talk about your job. What is it your job to do here? It is your job to learn. It's your job to study. It's your job to create. It's your job to think and then think again. It's your job to explore. It's your job to move beyond what you know. You have to reject the Trojan horse of the easy A. You have to move beyond your circle of comfort into a space where you are unsure, where you're a little uncertain and you're a little uncomfortable, because that is where the learning will actually happen for you. That's where the new ideas will come to you. That's where you can leap to the next space. Now, this job that you have, in these simple terms that I've described it, is really quite extraordinary because I'm going to guess that this is a new job for you, that this will be the first time in your intellectual life that you actually have all of the power to shape the outcome. Until now, others have led you down an educational path. And they've tried to do this in the best way that they could. Your parents, your teachers, your principals, the people who volunteer on your school board, they've all created a path that they thought was best for you. And my guess is that some of you sometimes felt it was pretty darn irrelevant and pretty uncomfortable. But now, ladies and gentlemen, now you have probably what you've always hoped for. Every time you went into a classroom at 7:30 in the morning, you were cranky about what you needed to do. Now you get what you hoped you would have. You have agency. You have autonomy. And you have responsibility. And right now, as I stand here today, you have my respect. Now, how you use this freedom and what you do will determine your success and our future together. Deciding, making choices is a really big part of your job. Will you be successful? Well, I can tell you this. There will be nothing standing in your way. I know because I have children. I have a 16-year-old son and a 21-year-old daughter, and I know the truth. Whether you're willing to admit it to yourself or your parents or to your friends by texting them today or by the good people that are here or even admitting it to yourself, whether you're willing to or not, I know you're a tad bit apprehensive. And that's true whether you are a transfer student who's already had some college education under your belt or whether you're a new student here, a first-year student. I know you're a little unsure and a little apprehensive. But I want you to be assured that we have confidence in you and that the decision is yours. Now, if you can't quite imagine your success, I'm going to give you a couple of images to hold on to. Your success might look something like the success of Rebecca Hodders. Rebecca just graduated from Hartwick a couple of weeks ago, and I want you to know that Rebecca won the Anna Sonder Prize of the Academy of American Poets for her poem entitled Persephone's Rebellion. I absolutely guarantee that Rebecca could not have predicted this. Your success might look something like the success of a junior, Jordan Liz, who won the most prize of all Hartwick Awards when he was named the John Christopher Hartwick Scholar, while also winning this year's Sarah Keys Brzee Scholarship, as well as the Andrew B. Saxton Undergraduate Fellowship in both business and philosophy. I promise you, Jordan could not have predicted this. So I don't want you to be worried that you can't imagine your success. It will come, and you will achieve some extraordinary things. I know that Rebecca and Jordan couldn't have guessed that they would, but I want to commend this small idea to you. Take this with you. The best way for you to predict your success is to create it. They did. You have been given an extraordinary opportunity, and if you wade hip deep into this river that is Hartwick's River, I promise you, if you do your job, you will be able to do what you cannot predict, and frankly, what you cannot even imagine. I want you to have confidence. I want you to create your success. And I want you to know that I will be here to celebrate it with you when you do. Thank you.